further time, let's bring him out. Give a huge Texas-sized welcome to Matthew Lillard! Skeet Ulrich! Campbell!
Check, check, check. What's up, Texas? How's everybody doing? Good. Is this our Sunday religion? Yeah. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all you do for us, for this franchise, for us personally, for our families, for everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We love you, that's why we're here.
Oh, we love you.
I'm gonna put you down there where your coffee is.
But Jamie's, never mind.
Oh, thank you so much for being here with us. We appreciate it. I was surprised to learn that you don't get this question a lot. I thought for sure, but we'll start out with an easy one. I've always dreamt of asking you this. What is your favorite scary movie? I'm sorry for the many people whose question I just took.
Forrest Gump.
My favorite scary movie is Scream.
Oh, correct answer.
Narcissistic, maybe.
The Changeling.
Whoa. You've come around. You used to not like scary movies, so you've come around.
Well, that's the first one I saw and the only one I saw.
I was gonna
Do you have
That's why it's
PTSD?
so good.
You have PTSD when you see wheelchairs?
Yes. And balls.
Yeah. This is a real question for you.
most wanted.
Was that scary?
Go girls.
That's what I was gonna say! Absolutely frightening.
So, I wanna immediately take it up to you. I don't want to steal any time from you guys. You've been waiting a long time, and we do have to wrap here at 12:50. So sorry for the late start, but let's take.
Do you know
right
why?
to-
Do you know why I have to leave? Chucky. Chucky's coming.
No, it's not even on the street.
Oh, my bad.
So let's take it right out to you guys. Who wants to ask the first question? No pressure. Oh wow, that hand went up fast. Yes. Well, first of all, there was an open seat and she ran to the seat. So she gets the first question.
Like, I wanted this seat so bad. That seat.
Matthew's already going rogue. We're only 2 minutes in.
He's a moderator! He's a moderator!
If I walk by you, please grab my butt.
We actually all took a bet on how soon into this is going to happen.
That's a joke. That's a joke. Please don't grab my butt. I have no butt. I just have a long back.
I want to ask the question.
That's cheating!
That is not cheating.
What's your question?
Okay, my question is,
Can I take a selfie? Next question. She raised her hand super fast because she's super aggressive. I'm going to the young man. What's your name?
Still Donahue joke.
What's your question?
Which set had the best food?
That is great.
We're very excited about that question because nobody's ever asked that question.
That's good.
Thank you for your question.
Which set had the best
I think Scream too.
two? Why?
Because we made money. We were at Atlanta. No, we had an espresso cart.
Oh, there you go.
And I think we had a chicken tender lady. Do you remember that?
You really have thought of it. You remember this stuff.
Oh yeah, and I said, damn, where's Skeet? Oh, he did. He did. We missed him. He loves tenders.
I do love tenders. I mean, I have no, 1 or 5, I don't know. I don't remember food from 26 years ago.
I do.
You do?
I remember.
Okay,
Okay, let's go rogue. Let's,
I'm
got a
back.
question right here.
Hi, what's your question?
Aside from Scream, what's your favorite movie that each of you have made individually?
What's your favorite movie?
What's your favorite movie and why?
The Company, which probably none of you have seen. I was a ballet dancer before I was an actor, and so it was my idea. It was about the life in a company, and I got to dance with the Joffrey Ballet, and I got to bring choreographers I had admired since I was a child, and so that was, and I worked with Robert Altman. So yeah, that was nothing.
And she produced it. She took that from the beginning to the end, and she made the whole movie. She's incredible.
Oh, man.
Come on, guys.
Should we move on? What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Malibu. Malibu for sure.
That's like your 8th high five.
There's only 2.
It's really blowing out.
Have you found him?
He's very strong.
We've gone way over high five budget on this panel.
What's yours, Skeet?
Probably Ride with the Devil.
Oh yeah.
Wow, shocking.
Big super
Most people
fan.
didn't see it because it was essentially the only unreleased Ang Lee movie. But it was a lot of fun. 7 months on horseback, Civil War film. Yeah, it was a blast.
Mine's a movie called SLC Pump.
Yeah.
Matthew, can we go all the way in the back? There's a gentleman that's been waving his hand as hard as he can so we all see him. All the way in the back. Right there, all the way in the back. Yes, sir.
Ignoring half of the room. Let's go.
All right. First of all, I just want to say that I am on the stew train for anybody that knows about that.
There's a stew train?
I'm on a stew train.
So, for any one of the celebrities, including Matt, if you are on the stew train, and I know you can't disclose something, for NDA reasons, but like if and only if you had it your way, which way would you bring back Stu to explain his story?
I can answer for you, Matt.
What way would I like to go back, Skeet?
Ripped.
Rips, but with the TV on your head the entire movie. I'm just saying.
He wants to come back like he'd been in prison every day working out. I like it. Scarred up face.
Yeah.
This is 100% true.
Yes.
Have you ever seen an adventure movie? That's Stu in part 6. Why are you laughing? My ass is going to be jacked.
And if you laugh, he will punch you.
You'll literally look like your character from Scream 5 with the flamethrower, which, if you didn't know, that was his voice.
My voice is in Scream 5.
Yeah.
You're welcome. What's your question?
Do you wish your character never got killed off?
He's not dead, so I don't have to wish that.
Y'all all inspire me, but my son is very inspired by y'all. He's 7 years old. He just wanted me to come and tell y'all. So I ask y'all, like, for him, the information to give him, how do you keep inspiring people? What should I tell him to keep doing? Because he's already.
You're inspiring me.
He wanted to be like y'all and do movies, so what can I tell him?
Well, I mean, first of all, what a great dad you are.
Yeah.
I think that's inspirational. And I think that's at the heart of why I won't speak for all of us, but is wanting people to feel good, and I think that's part of what we do and hope to do. So, but you giving that to us is it's a circle. It's all inspiration. So thank you, son. Yeah. That's good.
Tell your son, do what he loves. He's too young now. The saying is, do what you love and the money will follow. But he's 7, so I don't know if he's got Venmo yet, but I'm saying, do what you love, though.
The best part of this is anytime he misbehaves, you can be like, the screen staff said you got a great dad. So, pay attention.
This is a conference room, like, I feel like we're ready to talk about insurance.
Yeah, they have business meetings in here.
We can get some helm and boat. Matthew, what's the next
I love that question because I actually don't think people talk about it enough. I think the idea of how you live a life and what you chase in life is so important, right? So many people come to Hollywood to chase money or fame. I don't think any of us have been, we've been lucky to find movies, but we would be doing what we're doing anyways. Does that make sense? We didn't come for the money. We didn't come for the fame. We came because this is what we have done our whole lives. So when you were good at whatever you were good at in high school, I was that kid who was being picked on because I was in drama. We all had that thing where we were outside of the norm, and we found something that made us feel good about ourselves. So the idea of chasing what you love, when you feel good about shit and somebody goes, hey, you're good at that, it can change a kid's life. So if you see a kid who's struggling on the outside looking in, and I'm getting chills all over my body because it's my life, and you say to that kid, hey, you're incredible, you will change that kid's life. You are so powerful as adults, you have no idea. Just be powerful.
I fall a little more in love with him every Q&A.
Okay.
I have a very important question for you. I'm expecting a boy in a couple of months, and his middle name is going to be Matthew. After you, growing up, you were just a very vital role in my childhood. Who are these hormones? You just played an important role in my childhood and now my daughters and soon-to-be sons. I was just wondering if you would be the honorary godfather.
Whoa.
This shit just got deep, y'all.
Yeah. From the previous question to that one?
I know.
Well, first of all,
The only request, if you accept, is just to continue being the kind, generous, big-hearted person that you are, because I want him to grow up to be as amazing as you.
I feel like you're a plant. What is that?
Were you guys at a con together 9 months ago?
My follow-up question is just, will all you guys be my parents? Just adopt me and be my parents.
He went from be good to your kid to she's like, can you be the godfather?
I would love to have Billy and Stu be my two gay dads. we could get into the homoeroticism of Scream if we want to.
Listen, young man, go to your room.
Who's gonna top that shit? I'm a godfather now, by the way. That's rad.
We wait to start talking to Brando.
Okay, I have a question for Skeet and you, but for you, can you please speak in Shaggy's voice?
Let's see how it goes. What's Skeet's question?
Skeet, how was Cole Sprouse in Riverdale?
I love Cole. Cole's a very, very intelligent man, and much like Matt, he's a very giving, kind person. So he could not be. I love him dearly. We've become really, really good friends, and our families have sort of embraced each other. So I love him. Yeah.
What's your question?
Zoinks!
That's my fucking job, bro.
I was gonna help out. I thought you forgot. Like, you know.
Keep your mouth. We have a baby coming. Keep your mouth off my job.
Okay. I don't even know how to say. I did watch it for the first time last week, though.
What?
Wait,
what?
Hold on.
You didn't see Scooby-Doo?
Not till last week.
It came out 20 years ago, bro. That's your homeboy. That's your killer.
Ask him if he's seen Ride with the Devil.
Jesus.
No.
It's unreleased. How's your MySpace account?
I'm more intrigued that you sat down by yourself and you're like, I guess I'll watch Scooby-Doo now.
That is pretty interesting.
In California.
So my question is for the casting. Is there a character that you wish that you can bring back from the Scream series, dead or alive?
Yeah, bro, me.
And Randy.
Did you guys see that meme? Knows all the rules of a horror movie, dies in a horror movie.
Yeah.
You got shot in the head.
No, I was brutally murdered in a news van, but thank you for watching. I saw Scooby when it came out, okay? I'm not like Skeet.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Have you know what Malibu means?
I watched every season of Party 5. Bailey?
I love the company.
I haven't seen the company.
Next question.
I saw it on the plane.
Pardon, what?
I think of him every day.
Who? Wes? I see.
Quasi. She's all that question.
Your
You ever seen
cousin?
that movie?
I don't know. We missed something.
But let's take a moment to talk about Wes. We'll redirect that question to Wes.
You're doing a great job keeping this thing on track.
I'm trying. It's a runaway train.
Good luck, pal.
But you know, Wes, when he made the movie, hadn't had a hit. The genre of horror was kind of at a lower point. What's your kind of memory of him? Because Wes is a huge part of what makes Scream with, you know.
I'll give you my 2 seconds. 'Cause I was the youngest. I had no credits.
Yeah.
I did commercials. Wes, the first day I went up there, he was the icon of Wes, and he says, I had to cut the whole. Is that a cat?
Apparently you like cats, bro.
Wes showed me the scene with Drew, and I was like unknown. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I had to cut it together to send it to Cannes because they needed to. No one knew what this movie was, and Drew went up and made her own little movie.
Yeah.
So Wes was beyond humble, beautiful, and giving, and quite frankly, he was like wanted to make a good movie.
Yes.
You know, people were. It was like he made all these hits, and then people were like questioning what he was doing, and. We were left alone. No one knew what they had, but he was the most giving, wonderful guy.
Wow.
So,
You know, I mean, my obviously, you know, Neve had a lot more time with him, but my memory and experience with him, it always seemed so intimate, like just personal and quiet and real, and I'm thinking mainly like of direction he's giving us in scenes and stuff like that. There was just a heart there that was. And an understanding and a psychology that was so beautiful, but his just was present. He was so present, and there's something so beautiful about people that are like that. And I don't know, I see pictures of him and people come up with for Wes or stuff on it, and it's just always this wistful feeling of, I did one other movie with him later in his career, and you know, he was just an amazing man.
I don't even know how to just put it in a box, you know? I had so many years with him and experiences with him, and he was just brilliant and a gentle, wise soul, and had a great sense of humor, and knew how to make these movies, and inspired all of us. And yeah, I don't know. I can't put it into words. You know, he was just so incredible, and obviously had such an influence on all of us, and all the people who love his films. Like, it's incredible people who come up to me today and just say that they cried when they saw the West sign in the movie. Like, it meant as much to them as it meant to us when we walked on set, which is pretty profound.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, you know, and I've said this before, that, you know, these my career, I can only speak about my career, but your careers ebb and flow. You have good moments and bad moments, and you have moments where you feel like a fraud. You have moments you don't know you're ever going to work again, if you're going to feed your kids, and I've been confronted with that. I mean, we've sold our house, we've changed our lives because my career took dips. And there's these moments in your life that you hold on to in anything you do that keeps you going. And so for me, I had this moment on set where we had one cell phone on set. That's how old this movie is. And I had to borrow the phone at one point, and Marianne, who was the producer, and Wes were sitting there, and they were like, "Oh, we were just talking about you." I'm like, "Oh yeah, what were you saying?" He said, "Someday you're going to win an Academy Award." And I'm like, "Oh, shut up, tell my mom that." So he picked up the phone, and said, "What's the number?" and called my mom and said, "Someday your son's going to win an Academy Award." And so in my life, when I feel like a fraud, I don't know if anyone in this room understands what that means, but when you are lost and you're like, "Oh shit, how am I going to make it?" I go back to these moments I can hold on to. Wes Craven is like one of those tangible, very clear memories for me that keeps me going. Yeah. So it's so powerful.
You mentioned, and I'm curious, I'm a huge fan of Scream 4, especially that being his last film. I don't think anyone quite expected the franchise to come back. You coming back, we certainly didn't expect you to come back as a Force ghost.
I haven't seen it.
A murder Force ghost. But what was that experience like coming back and making it without Wes and making it with the Radio Silence guys?
Well, I don't think we could have had a better team jump on board and take over for Wes. I had been really apprehensive about doing another one without him.
Yeah.
And they wrote me a letter, Matt and Tyler, the directors, and said that they had become filmmakers because of the Scream films and become directors because of Wes Craven, and that everything they'd done had been influenced by Wes thus far. And that meant so much to me, and then we had a conversation about what they were planning to do with the film, and that they really, really wanted to honor him and respect this franchise in the energy that it started with, and they pulled it off, and I'm so grateful.
No, that's an applause. Yeah. I think the spirit of Wes is there.
Same. I mean, they wrote a letter and sort of really just gushed about how much Wes had meant to them and the franchise, and why they felt like this would work, and et cetera. But when I finally got there and met them, and I only spent a day on set, so I didn't get the experience I didn't have the experience that Neve had necessarily, but you could not miss their eagerness to live up to the franchise, and they were just almost like student filmmakers, just so eager to make it work, and they're brilliant. Yeah. They're not amateur filmmakers. They're brilliant filmmakers who just had that zeal for this story and for honoring it for Wes.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how brilliant they are when they figure out a way to bring back Reunites too.
Listen,
it came through. I think
when they wrote me a letter and they said, "Listen, we want to put you on the mantle." And I had my agents call them. I was like, "Look, guys, mantle work, that's a different job."
You got a whole nother agent for mantle work.
I have a mantle agent. No, I love it.
Back to our moderator over here.
What's your favorite Scream movie?
What's your favorite Scream movie? That's good. Man, where were you? I needed that question.
I have an answer on this, and I'm going to tell you where I am, but someone that we all know said something that I think is crazy. For me, it's 1, 2, 5, 4, 3. Now, someone, I don't know if he's in this room right now, told me it's 1, then 4.
I mean,
4?
There's an argument for 4.
I've been hearing, I gotta go rewatch 4, but for me
it was ahead of its time when it came out, just like the original.
So that's my order.
Someone came up to me and told me today they thought it should never have been made.
It's polarizing.
Thank you.
Point them out and I will fight them. The staunch defender. What about you? What's your order?
I'm gonna go.
You haven't seen
Shut the
them all.
fuck up.
I know you.
I'm gonna go
You're not
one.
to lie to all of us. You've not seen them all.
He's gonna say 1 and 5 because those are the ones he said, and then the rest of them.
Those are the ones I've seen.
Bro, you didn't see 2?
I know.
Come on, bro.
I know.
Well, you've watched Scooby-Doo.
Yes, I'm behind the times.
In 2022.
No Scooby shame. No Scooby shame.
What about you? You have the ultimate perspective here. Kristen's been in all of them.
I would say probably 1, 2, 5, 3, 4.
Wow. All right.
I would go 1. I think 1's my favorite. I liked 4 a lot. I liked 5 a lot.
Yeah.
I did not really love 2 and I didn't see 2.
But everyone knows that he's actually into, right? He pops up at the party. So,
Not really.
well, I'm just saying.
I am.
That's an argument that you're still alive.
I was walking around the back of us.
Wait,
Which is why Stu's still alive.
what was wrong with 2?
I died.
Yeah, I died. Good
I
save.
have a question.
Good save.
I have a question. What's the worst death? What is the most horrific death of all the main characters?
Jeez, spoilers, guys. Ouch. Yeah.
I think it's gotta be
That
between
one hurt the most physically and emotionally.
Dewey.
I go Casey. I don't know, that first death was pretty
brutal.
Really?
Yeah, but you weren't emotionally invested in Casey.
I still haven't
I
processed.
was, that's why I killed her.
I still haven't.
You guys, he's handsome and funny.
I still haven't processed Randy's death. I'm still not over
I think
that.
Randy dying was. I think it was between those two. I think it's between Randy and Dewey. I mean,
we thought you had plot armor, and that is why they chose to do it.
Plot armor.
Plot armor.
I honestly, when I went to
That's another word for mantle, by the way.
Yeah. I cried when I saw David die. Like, how many people come up to me at like a Trader Joe's and say, "I'm sorry, you're dead." And I'm right here.
It's rough.
But when David died, I was really sad. So, however you guys feel about Randy, that's how I felt about Dewey. So I assume that I was because I just know he was just an anchor of the movie. You know what I mean? It's like
emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
We got time for a few more.
Oh, I think I did. I think Dewey, for the same reason we're so invested in him at this point, 5 movies in, and we have such empathy for him. He's such a darling character, I think I certainly cried when I even read the script. And I don't think I've had anyone say to me they didn't cry when they saw Dewey pass him. But certainly Randy as well, and all y'all. I love y'all.
Good save.
I am right here.
I'm so tired.
You watched every season of Party of 5.
Jamie, what was
Yes.
your most memorable sketch from the experience?
Oh, wow. Some of them, oh, wow. Probably, I would say when we did the fake infomercial, the Instacooker. Made the thing that makes a turkey in 20 seconds and people believed it. Neve didn't see it. Yeah, girl!
Sorry, Matt.
My question's actually for Skeet. What was it like working on Law and Order LA with people like Alfred Molina? Alfred Molina, I'm sorry, I'm like shaking really hard. I'm excited.
That was I'll be careful because Dick Wolf is a very powerful man.
I would hope so with a name like that.
That was a great cast. Corey Stoll and Terrence Howard and Alfred Molina, and it's such a formula, and I'd never worked on a formula before, and it was difficult, and the politics of NBC being bought by Comcast during that season were crazy. It wasn't like acting. It wasn't like they had rules that Corey and I played the lead detectives, and they had rules that we weren't allowed to touch each other.
So you had a great time.
It was not fun. Yeah, it was so. I mean, it was really difficult, and unfortunately, I mean, I love those people, the cast, and all that, but it was just such a difficult formula to work under, to be free and to feel confident every day. There was just all these rules. So
let's go 2 more questions. We'll go one here and then we'll end.
Okay.
Up there. Okay. So who has the last audience question that feels great? Are you sure? Okay, I believe you.
So this is to all the cast. First off, thank you all of you, for all your movies, both seen and not seen. But with that being said, did you guys know who the killers were in the first screen?
We did, yeah. That was before the days of hiding scripts. And remember, I mean, I do think it's interesting is that nobody expected this movie to be anything. So in that expectation, like, nobody really cared. So they're like, whatever, read the script. So it's only now, in retrospect, that you, like, were a part of something that is still being celebrated, which is crazy. Because when we did it, one of the great things about it for all of us, I think I'm speaking for all of us, is one of the great experiences of our lives. It's like our childhood. We were kids showing up in Sonoma, California, racing to go out to dinner every weekend to be together. We would wrap at 5 in the morning and go hang out in David Arquette's room and drink like teenagers. And so you had an experience that was this wonder of young Hollywood in the early 90s. So there wasn't the pressure to be anything other than what it was. Which I think all these movies these days, from the MCU down to Scream 10, 11, 12, there's pressure to deliver box office return, which we didn't have, which makes it such an idyllic memory for all of us.
Thank you for making my question so much better.
I've always wondered, and this is something I've never asked you, but there was a lot of debate. There were a lot of masks that they went through before, they happened to just find what was already an existing Halloween costume as they were doing set scouting. But there was a lot of pushback against the original Ghostface, which has now become iconic and the most popular Halloween costume, but kind of playful and silly, which is perfectly toned with the movie. What was all of your first reactions to seeing Ghostface, especially you guys, that got to actually put it on at least for one scene?
Yeah, I mean, I just remember it feeling, I think it was Wes's enthusiasm for finding the one that like really kind of drew me into it. I don't remember like necessarily being shown them or like suddenly it was this thing. But in hindsight, it was just sort of the method of how it all happened, and that it was happening live in the moment like that. I don't really remember my reaction to it. I do remember so much about Edvard Munch and like all this, being related to that and it feeling elevated beyond, just a simple costume,
right? Which
is kind of Wes to a T in a way. Everything had so much more meaning than I was educated enough to understand, and he had these reasons for things, and one mask may look no different to me than the next, yet for him there was a whole psychology behind it. So that's kind of
it's like the Freddy sweater being red and green because they're the most unappealing colors to the eye, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What about you guys? What was your reaction to it? I didn't realize it was like literally right behind us still.
I don't really remember. There was like I don't really remember too much because I wasn't the killers. But I just remember like that painting.
Yeah.
And I would just remember like, oh my God, they're gonna get like that mask that's like from Edward Munch the Scream. So.
Yeah.
But I remember there was like a lot of stuff. It was like a toy shop.
Yeah.
And they had to get the rights. And I remember that was crazy. And I remember it was a lot of stress. It was stress.
I think some of you guys even saw it on set, like in the scene for
Yeah.
the first time.
Yeah.
We were there when he pulled out. I distinctly remember him pulling out a box.
Yeah, I remember the
Yeah.
box. Yeah.
And they were making a decision on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the story is that they had
They decided to go with the Scream mask.
Yeah.
And it was, again, going back to the point that what this movie was nothing until there was something.
Right.
They didn't acquire the rights from this small North Carolina
Fun
town.
world. Yeah.
And they now still own the rights, this little mom and pop shop that was off making masks for paintings, ended up with the rights to the Scream mask.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is not a small thing.
Yeah. It's like everything else with this movie that's kind of
In
beautiful.
fact, I think I heard their private jet just go away.
Well, thank you all for indulging us in all of this. This is just such an honor and a pleasure to have you all here and all together. We want to do one last thing. It's kind of become a Frightmare tradition where we have the audience behind you and get a photo just to kind of commemorate the experience. So we're gonna just like you guys like line up here, and then everybody kind of behind you just, you know.
Yeah, can we, as we're doing that, can I just say, listen, you guys, I want you to know that you may not hear it enough, but the people on that floor are very grateful for your hard-earned money, for you waiting in our lines to support us. You help feed our families from job to job. I haven't worked in 10 months. So again, I know Skeet said at the beginning, but we are so grateful, and everyone on that floor is grateful. So if you don't hear it enough, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
On three, everybody just kind of go crazy behind him. All right, 3, 2, 1. Get it? Yeah.